We shall now take a look at an algorithm, how we go about finding the largest of three numbers. Before we head to the algorithm, let's do a loud thinking so that you really understand what is the process. So let us say this part represents your or my mind. Now, let us say I have entered the value 50 in A, which according to your mind is the biggest number right now. It is 50 because that is the only number your mind has seen. Now what do you do? Now let us say I give you the second number. Let us say I say the second number is 40. Now your mind does is it doesn't compare this with 50A with B. It compares what is in your mind with B. Now is 40 bigger or is 50 bigger? 40 is still bigger. So I say good, I'm fine. My mind retains 50 as the biggest number, or in other words, A is the biggest number. Now let us say I enter the next number as 200, which happens to be in variable C or memory location with the name C. Now what my mind does is it doesn't compare A with C or B with C. It compares what is in my mind, which happens to be 50, with C. So which is larger now? C is larger than 50. That means 200 is greater than 50. So I strike this out and I put 200 here, indicating in my mind that out of these three numbers, 200 happens to be the largest. Now let's work out the logic for this first, and then we'll go about trying to solve the problem. So what I'm going to do here is think of it like this. Let us say I have three memory locations representing A, B and C, or three variables with the name A, B and C. I have another memory location called as large. Alright, I have a third memory location called as large. I read numbers into them. Let us say 50, 200 and let's say 90. I read three numbers into A, B and C. What you need to do is, in order to understand this process, don't look at all the numbers at a time. Just look at A at one single time. When you just look at A, so which is the largest at this point of time? Largest number is in A. So I assume initially that A is the largest because I have not seen any other numbers. Now I finished processing A. Now I'll only look at B. I'll compare large with B. Which is bigger? Large is bigger or B is bigger? B is bigger. So my new largest in that is B. Now I have finished processing A and B. Next step I check, is large bigger or C bigger? Still large is bigger because large contains 200. So I continue to keep B as the largest. Therefore, my new value or the value of the largest number is the value contained by B. So I am going to say B contains the largest value. So let us see how we go about solving this particular problem. The problem is to find the largest of three numbers. You have to always write step 1 colon start. What is the first step? Read values into three memory locations or three variables with the name A, B and C. So read value of three numbers. I'll say input A comma B comma C. Then what do I do? Let me read some values into A, B and C. This is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and let's see how many steps are there. So in step 1, nothing has happened to A, B and large. Let us read some numbers here. 205, 600, and let's say this is 1000. C is 1000. Large doesn't have any value. At step 2, these are the values in A, B and C. Now what I am doing is, as I told you, I am processing one number at a time. So I am initially assuming in step number 3 that the largest is A because I have not seen either B or C at this point of time. So what I am doing, assume or assign A to large. So here I am assuming large is A. So large contains A. It is telling me that A is the largest. Now, what I am going to do here is in the next step 4 and 5, I am going to compare B with large. What does A contain? A large contain? Large contains A and it contains the value 205. So next time what I am going to do is I am going to compare the value in large, which is 205, with the value in B, which is 600. So how do I compare? Using the if statement. So I say if B is greater than large, then my new large is B. So in step number 4, what is happening here is this particular fellow, okay, here this is still the same, this is same, this is same, and in step number 3, what has happened is I have assumed A or 205 to be the largest. In step number 4, I am comparing this fellow large or the value in large, which is 205, with B. B is 600. Which is bigger, B or 205? 600 is bigger. So in this step, my new large becomes B with the value 600. These all remain unchanged. All right, these all remain unchanged. Then I have done processing A, I am done processing B. I need to go and look at C. I do similar to what I did with B. Now I compare large with C. In step number 5, I am comparing large with C. So this is still 205, this is 600, this is still 1000. So which is bigger? 600 is bigger or 1000 is bigger? C is 1000. 1000 is bigger than 600. So this condition now becomes true. So large is given the value of C. So large now becomes C and the value in that is 1000. This is still 2005, 600 and 1000. Now if I go ahead and output the value of large, it is going to print or it is going to say C is the largest. And finally, I am going to come to the end of the algorithm and exit. So this is an important logic because these are the kind of problems you will be solving when you write programs. Don't think programming is something really great. It is all about breaking down a big problem into a number of smaller, simpler parts and finding the logic for this. So in this case, when I'm comparing B, 600 was greater than 205. So this condition became true. That's why I went into this if. Okay, so this if gets executed only if B was bigger than large. If B was not bigger than large, nothing would really happen. This would not get executed or this statement would not run. So I hope you had some understanding of how to find the largest of three numbers. What I would suggest is go ahead and practice how to find the largest of five numbers. Also, how to find the smallest of four numbers. Try to write the algorithm on your own because it is absolutely important to keep doing it on your own, drawing the test table and at every step seeing how the values change. That is the only way you are going to develop programming logic skills, and it is simply the most important skill in your 2 years. You need to work on it.